Reality is a construct of perception. Carl is a construct of coffee and bad life choices. Here they meet in Carl versus Reality.
Hello and thank you for joining me for this episode of Carl vs. Reality. I'm currently sat here on a bus. Since I've been podcasting now for well over 20 plus years, it's been a goal of mine to actually try and do a podcast actually on a bus. And I'm sat here on a bus. It's very loud. I don't know if buses being this loud really, but here we are. It's happening. So yeah, just going down a few, just going through Yarmouth currently. Seeing the sites, the building work that's been going on. Lots of builders out in their high-vis jackets and their helmets, doing bits and pieces. Improvement. It's weird because it seems like there's always improvements going on in the town, but it never really seems to be finished. It's always just perpetually in a state of things are getting fixed and all that kind of stuff. So a bit of a weird one that, but it is what it is. It's very strange, obviously, getting on. Obviously travelling the same route to and from for decades now. I must have been getting the bus since, well, it's well over 30 years now probably. But yeah, I remember the first time actually going on a bus on my own. I actually went out to go get the single for Blur's Tender. I remember getting on the bus and being a bit like, oh, I'm going to buy myself a single. I remember getting it on vinyl because even then I was a hipster, and it was funny because I remember I met a couple of schoolmates when I was in town, and they're like, why are you buying it on vinyl for? So why are you buying it on record? You can't listen to it on the bus home then. I was like, I'll get home, I'll transfer it to tape, and then I'll listen to it on the bus, you know. But yeah, it was I still have it. It's a great memory, one of those moments of independence. I remember sort of going more often and getting like Catatonia's Dead from the Waist Down, all that. Some great tunes back then, to be fair. It's been like 1999, maybe? Maybe it isn't 30 years, I don't know. It's not important really. It's been a solid 25 plus years. 27, we'll say. But yeah, it's just the way things have changed and all that kind of thing. Just the looking at the landscape and the way things have changed, and even just buses in general have changed, because, you know, rural Norfolk, it is usually behind. So basically the way I think the bus service or the bus company works is that they'll, especially in this area, they'd get buses from other cities like London or Birmingham after they've been used for a couple of years, and we'd get them. And then the rural routes would get them after that. They made this big song and dance about, oh, he's got these lovely air-conditioned buses and all these leather seats. And they were lovely for a bit, but they soon went by the way. And I'm currently sat on one that is definitely not air-conditioned or leather seats. It's just, I don't know what it is. I'm actually sat on the very back, the very back seat. And all the hard kids sit. They sit there and they're like, oh, I'm all hard and I'm all clever and big. And they've got their lighters out, and they've basically burnt their name into the back of this chair as someone called Xeron, Xeron, and done them less than 3. Just do a fucking heart. But yeah, it's there's a phone number here, 0746. I'll stop there. But yeah, this phone number's graffitied on here, and there's also like stab holes in the seat because some edgelord has been a bit like, oh, I'm gonna be all hard and get my compass out. I'm gonna stab the seat like some loser. But yeah, it's actually, obviously having travelled on the bus regularly for donkey's years now, it's a thing of like just seeing the regulars come and go and all that. And I remember there's one particular regular that sort of sticks in my mind, and it was this guy who used to wear a sombrero, and he'd basically stand at the front of the bus with his sombrero on, and he'd basically direct you to where you're supposed to sit. He'd be like, oh, you sit there, you sit there, you sit there, and all that kind of stuff. It's a bit weird. Obviously trying to be helpful, and all that. But I would say one of nature's cards, a true eccentric. Yeah, I just remember doing that. I remember not sitting in the seat he told me to sit in once, just to be a bit rebellious, and that did not go well. He didn't get angry, he just got a little bit, you know. But it's, yeah, I don't remember a time there was bus conductors. I don't understand quite why. Maybe he was a bus conductor in a previous life, I don't know. Until he started wearing the sombrero. Like, do you know what? You can't really be wearing the sombrero to work. Look a bit strange. We are in Mexico. We're in Great Yarmouth. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not having a go at eccentric people. I love eccentrics. I think a good place to find eccentric people is on buses, because there's loads of us around. I'm an eccentric. But yeah, the eccentric people are the little old lady with her dogs who'd be sitting there panting like that, just panting constantly, and just getting, like, if you sat next to her because there's no other place to sit, you'd get spit on you. Which isn't ideal, I'm not going to lie. It's not something you want to do on the way to college or anything like that. And I remember, it's funny, I don't really sort of see kids being little shits on buses anymore. That used to be a thing back in the day. I mean, you see the ones vaping, like, oh, look at me smoking inhaling my fruity air. Oh, lovely. That's clever, isn't it? Back in my day, it used to be a bit like, oh, I'm gonna actually smoke a cigarette. I remember people doing that. I remember going up on the top deck, someone on the back of the bus being like, oh, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. And that was actually quite risky, because obviously the smoke and obviously tattletales, or telltale tits, as we used to call them, snitches. And yeah, I remember you know, that kind of thing. I remember people getting kicked off buses a lot, and I remember you know, one of the things that sticks in my head, which was a very ballsy move by a bus driver. I may have told this story before, but yeah, I've done many podcasts over the years. I may have told this story before, I don't know. But one of the most regular things that you'd smell on a bus is marijuana, and you know, it's more widespread than you think. I don't really sort of smell it these days so much, because I get buses when there are a lot of like youngsters about. Maybe they've taken the advice of actually finally getting airtight containers, because it's just going stale in your pocket, man. Anyway, so it literally, remember once, this bus absolutely reeked of weed. It was potent. And I remember the bus driver sort of stopping outside the police station, Caister police station, and he turned off the engine. And then he came upstairs, he goes, right, I'm at the police station, I can smell spliff. And I was like, ooh, you dropped the ball. I thought, so far so good, you know, trying to be a bit like, yeah, do you know what, I'm at the police station and you got weed, so what are you going to do about it, eh? I can smell spliff. It's not called that. A spliff, yes, not, it doesn't smell off spliff, it's, you know. Anyway, then ended up, no one admitted to it. There's like, I don't know, maybe 8 of us on the bus. It wasn't me, it wasn't my ex-girlfriend. But I remember sort of everyone looking at each other and sort of like laughing. It's like, well, you can't prove who it is, you know. So yeah, that's what happened there. It was a ballsy move, I will admit, but yeah, it just didn't really sort of pan out. But yeah, it's different these days though. One of the things that's more common is people blasting out like shit music on buses. It's like, why are you doing that for? You know, the people with the worst taste in music like to play it the loudest, I find. And all this sort of, I don't know even what it's called. Is it called drill music? Is it called... Because I would say dubstep, but I wouldn't even say it's dubstep technically. It's just shit. It's what it is. Like, I can talk, I'm sitting on the bus with fucking Sleaford mods in my headphones. But, yeah, so, you know, that is what happens the most. And like I said earlier, like, people vaping. It's not clever, it's not hard, like, no one cares. Like, I don't think you can sort of passive smoke a vape. It's just like, oh, you smell like you're eating a bag of Chewits is what you're doing. You might as well just eat a bag of Chewits, you probably enjoy it more, rather than taking a big old lungful and then coughing your guts up. At least when you're eating Chewits, it's going straight into your system and it's not going through a major organ which actually might inadvertently suffocate you slowly. I still don't understand people vaping. Like, it's very clearly not good for your body. It's obviously, admittedly less harmful than actual smoke, but still, don't be doing that. It's called popcorn lung. If you're breathing in and it sounds like you're making popcorn in a microwave, it's probably a bad thing for you, isn't it? But yeah. One of the other, so I'm just going through, this is Caster, I think, now. That's changed over the years as well. It's now all literally vape shops and barber shops. And shops that smell American sweets. Sell American sweets. Again, the changing face of the high street. Nobody wants American sweets, because American sweets are crap. Gonna say it. Well, there's a few that are alright. They're chocolate, don't even talk to me about that. But, yeah. I'm waffling on here about literally nothing. But yeah, bucket list. Done a podcast on a bus. So hopefully it sounds alright, I don't know. But yeah. One of the things I want to do. The thing is, because this show now can be taken anywhere, so I like the idea of actually having it all different kinds of places. Be more fun, I think. Make it a bit more fun to record, maybe fun to listen to. I don't know, maybe you listen to this thinking, oh, that sounds like shit. Why are you doing that for, man? But I have now anyway. Waffling on. So anyway, join me again next time for more of this. And so until the next time, take care of yourselves, and ta-ta.